Landrau. Thank you for joining us on Behind the Scenes. My name is Hector Landrau. With us today, we have a special guest. She is a public speaker, author, teacher, educational consultant, and to top it all off, she's a mother of 3 wonderful children. We have in the studio today, Miss Veda Green. As always, we'd like to give the corporate sponsors, those that make Behind the Scenes show capable of being on the air. We'd like to thank Bass Clef Entertainment LLC for being a major contributor to Behind the Scenes. Also like to thank the Virginia School of Hand Drumming. If you are interested in learning Afro-Cuban, salsa, or Latin percussion, please give a call to the head instructor there. His name is Ronald Prescott, and you can reach him at 757-439-0010. Also like to give a thanks to Arts Media and Entertainment Network. They specialize in web design, computer graphics, and marketing material. They're also the ones responsible for the online shots that you're seeing today. And if you have anything coming up that you'd like to have on the air, please, you can contact Mr. Javier Rivera, and you can reach him at info@gemini-productions.com. That information again is info@gemini-productions.com. Also like to thank and give special mention to Dan the Man Jones. They're at 7 City Scooters. They are located on 212 Dorset Avenue in Virginia Beach. And you can give them a call if you're in need of a ride, 757-499-0999. Also like to thank the staff here at WGPL 1350, Mr. Ron Broughton and Mr. Chester Benton, for allowing me the opportunity to bring this wonderful show to you. And one of our newest sponsors, I'd like to thank Manny and Raquel. They're at Talento Latino Barbershop. They are located at 1301 East Little Creek Road in Norfolk, and they provide New York style cuts and trims. There's no appointment that's necessary, and always all the walk-ins are welcome. And you can give them a call at 757-531-0030. And as always, if you'd like to have your business, or you have an advertisement, something that you'd like to announce on the air here on Behind the Scenes, please give me a call. My phone number is 757-478-8083, and we would love to have you come on the show. Today, I'm very lucky to be interviewing Ms. Veda Green. She is the author of a new book called Building Brighter Kids. And if you are online, this is the cover of the book right here. It is a pleasure. Welcome again to Behind the Scenes, and thank you for agreeing to be on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So before we actually dig into this, highly informative and thought-provoking book, tell us a little bit about yourself and some of your background.
Well, I am a mom of 3, a wife of 1. My husband here with me today, Donald Green. And I have been a teacher now for over 16 years. I've been in public school, private school. I've done homeschool. I'm just a school kind of girl. I absolutely love education. It's my passion. It's what I was designed to do. And I am the founder of Building Brighter Kids. As you see that I have my book there, I'm very excited about it. I decided to do Building Brighter Kids when a lot of my students were falling, just slipping through the cracks, absolutely failing left and right. And parents just were unaware that their children were failing, and they would come to me and say, well, if someone would have told me, if someone would have helped me, maybe I could have done something for my child. So it was then that I decided that my children are pretty successful in school, so I'll share what I'm doing with my children with the parents, and that's how Building Brighter Kids came about.
In your opinion, how big, especially here in the Hampton Roads area, how big of a problem is that a lot of parents are unaware that their children are having these difficulties in school?
Well, it's very prevalent, actually. 25% of all preschool children aren't even ready for kindergarten. When they arrive at kindergarten, they struggle with the basic skills of ABCs, colors, reading, connecting the dots between understanding what they're reading and the words that they see on the paper. Parents tend to be unaware because they put them on the bus thinking, oh, the school is going to take care of them because that's what the school is designed to do. But what we understand as teachers is that we really need parent involvement in order for children to succeed academically as well as in life. So when the teacher works together with the parent and the child, that triangular community is a lot stronger.
And we also want to open up the phone lines. If you have any questions for Veda Green, you can give us a call at 757-624-9723. Again, 757-624-9723. Or if you have any questions and you are logged in online, there is a option there where you can ask your questions, and we will read those out loud and then have an opportunity for you to see those as well. How did you decide, or should I actually, when did you decide that you wanted to become a writer?
It's funny you should ask that question because actually I'm a speaker, and I would do workshops and I would talk to parents about helping their children be successful. And at the end of the workshop, someone would always ask, do you have a book? Is there something that I can get, that I can take home with me, that I could implement at home? And I would simply say, well, did you take the notes? You know, did you look at the PowerPoint? And what I found is that more people wanted something in their hand. So I simply started to compile what I was talking about and put it into a book. So that's basically how it came to be. So technically, I'm a speaker that has written a book, as opposed to an author, so to speak. That wasn't my primary push. I actually wanted to get out there and tell the world about how to save their children academically. And the book was birthed from people asking me questions about how they could do more when I wasn't there. And I realized that I couldn't go into every home in every city in Hampton Roads to help parents help their children.
You know, Veda, one of the things that I read most of the book, and one of the things that really caught my attention was the fact that you had a detailed point, and it was about vision, about the vision that you have for your children. And one thing that was so important to me was the fact that you mentioned that parents are the first teachers of their children. And sometimes as parents, we really forget that. We, as you said earlier, we send our kids off to school and we have this hope that our children are being well educated in whatever system they are in. And sometimes we see them fall, we see them fail, and we do these kind of things. I guess my question then would be, when did you decide to actually take something from a thought process that, as a speaker, that you decided that you wanted to put something down on paper?
Well, Hector, I look at my own children. I have a 16-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old son, and a surprise 5-year-old son. And my daughter is now an honor student, and she has a very high work ethic. And I noticed that I started with her very young. And I implemented things just step by step, just reading to her, using every teachable moment that I could. And I noticed that the seeds that I planted in her started to grow. So I knew that I had something and I needed to share it. So that is the thought that came. The seed was planted, then it started to grow, and it became Building Brighter Kids.
That sounds very biblical. Which actually would then, not in a segue, then would be to say they were then your ambition for writing this book.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't think about it that way until this very moment. You know, my children are they're going to leave behind my legacy when I'm gone. You know, they'll look at Donald and I when we're gone, and they'll see us in our children, and in turn their children. So you're absolutely right. Building Brighter Kids isn't just about that one child. It's about what they will take into the world and how we will be perceived later on.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Again, the phone lines are open. You can call 757-624-9723. And we're back with Behind the Scenes. I am your host, Hector Landrau. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio once again. I want to thank and welcome Miss Veda Green. She is the author of Building Brighter Kids. If you are online, you actually get to see the photo of the cover. She has dedicated a lot of her time in putting this educational book together, and we left about the show on the last note about the ambition that your children, not just children in general, I mean, not your children in general, but just children, that they are an ambition because, as you said, they are the legacy. They are the ones that are going to be coming in behind us. And from this standpoint, it's you have a really neat phrase that you like to quote, and if you don't mind sharing that with us as well.
Yes, my motto is it is better to build a child than to repair an adult. I saw that cross stitched on my Uncle Joe's office. He's a psychologist, and it was cross stitched. And I was in college when I saw it, and I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that makes sense." But I didn't realize that that was actually going to become a part of who I am and what I represent. So I really truly believe that it's better to build a child than to repair an adult.
If you want to expound on that, it's fine. I know that if I start talking about it, it's going to turn into a comedy show. So we're going to leave that one alone.
Well, if you need me to expound just a little bit, I will.
Because I know some adults that definitely need to be repaired.
Yes, yes.
But we're going to leave that alone. For those that, I mean, most of you don't know how I actually came across to know Miss Veda Green. I had an opportunity to meet her at a local church here in Chesapeake, and I will allow her the opportunity to share that information with you at this time. So you take it away.
Yes, I met Hector a while ago playing the bongos. Is it Hector? Yes.
Good enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a musician. I am an author and a speaker and an educator. Don't forget the book. I met Hector at Cedars of Lebanon, Seventh-day Adventist Church, and you really added a lot of flavor to our worship service. So I enjoy.
Well, I'm humbled by that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I do certain gigs throughout the area, but now I've changed my focus a little bit. We're going to talk about some of that focus here in just a few minutes, to bringing artists into the public eye so they have an opportunity to share some of their vision as well. Let me ask you this, Vita. Do you now? I know you started this project. Is there another book in the works?
Actually, yes, this particular book has a workbook with it, and it allows parents to go through and actually do exercises along with the book as they're reading. It's the Building Brighter Kids Action Plan workbook. Yes, there is another book in the making, kind of on the side a little bit, some strategies and techniques for parents to help their children succeed in the reading area, because we find that most of our students do poorly in school because their reading comprehension is very weak. So that's something that I'm working on the side with one of my friends who's also a reading specialist. So that's something in the making.
Now, you are a woman that wears many hats, as we mentioned in the beginning of the program. You're a author, a full-time public speaker. You are a teacher and a mother of three. Do you write full-time or part-time?
I write as I am inspired to write. I would say part-time because of course it would not be full-time. I try to bring material that's credible and that's relevant to what parents truly need. That is my niche. My connection is with the parents because I stand in the classroom every day. So I see students who are struggling, and I really want to help parents help their children. So I find new ways to address some of the old problems, and that's why I write. It's not something that I sit down and I say, I'm going to write a book. I'm not a writer by trade. So that's how Building Brighter Kids came about.
Again, it's called Building Brighter Kids, from kindergarten to college, and it has a lot of information in the book as well. Vita, for those that have not read the book and are interested in reading the book, what is the representation of this book? What's in this book in itself that you want to let folks know that they should definitely need to get this book? Again, it's called Building Brighter Kids from Kindergarten to College, and I'll show it again online.
Well, you can get the book at Amazon.com. You can also visit my website at buildingbrighterkids.com. And the meat of the book is truly, I provide busy parents because I know we work full time. We try to put food on the table. We're here and there. I wear many hats, and I know other parents do too. So I provide busy parents with simple yet effective solutions that they can implement right away to help turn their children around or to help build them from the start. I really believe if you really start with your children at the preschool age, you're able to shape them and mold them into what you want them to be. The premise of this book is very simple. It's 4 simple steps: vision, education, discipline, and action. I help parents build an action plan for their children at home that they can implement between those critical hours of 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, after school to dinner, when those critical, crucial hours are what most parents miss. So the premise of this book is to really help parents develop their children and not leave it up to the school system to do so.
Again, you said there was 4 building blocks. Let's just talk about one and let those who are interested actually obtain the book. Let's talk about the vision. How important is that to implement into a child?
Extremely important. It is the basis for everything else, because you have to know where you want your children to go in order for them to get there. Many of us give birth to children, we dress them, we feed them, but we don't provide them with a direction. They just end up as adults.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, it's what are they doing? What am I doing? So I try to help parents with the vision part, to write it clear so that their children, even if they go astray a little bit, their actions will direct them back to the vision that their parents have designed for them. So it helps them to be successful every step of the way.
One of the key things in the book that I also read was the fact that along with building this vision for your children, it's to build them so they can have a better future, but being careful not to mold your child into doing or living, as they say, vicariously through their children. And that happens so often that then it's not so much about the vision of the child, it's more about the vision of the parent.
Absolutely. I direct parents in the book very simply to write a vision that involves certain parts the spiritual element, the intellectual element, the physical element, just to guide them into their future. Not because I didn't become a basketball star, I'm going to make sure that you become a basketball star.
Right.
The vision is not for me. The vision is for my children so that they will grow to be adults who contribute positively to society.
Once again, this is turning out to be an awesome interview. We want you to stay tuned. We'll be back with Behind the Scenes and Veda Green. And we're back with Behind the Scenes of Miss Veda Green. If you're just tuning in, then I apologize because you've missed a wonderful interview. She is the author of Building Brighter Kids from Kindergarten to College. Thank you again for being on the show today, Veda, and sharing some wonderful information with the listening audience.
Well, thank you again for having me.
So, being the fact that I would like to have you definitely back on the show, I believe there's a lot of information in that book that parents need to know about, and you have a lot of information which I believe you need to share with a lot of parents as well. So, we're going to kind of give everyone the abridged, version of this. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
5 years. Wow. I really try to build a vision for myself. And in 5 years, I see myself as a world-renowned speaker, traveling the nation, helping parents help their children be successful in school. That is my true and ultimate desire. And traveling with this man right here, of course, by my side, and sharing what I would like to call the gospel of education, changing the face of education by helping parents, because truly that is the answer. Because the school system changes about every 10 years. You're with your child every single day. And you want to make sure that they're prepared not just to pass a test, but to pass the test of life and to be successful. So that's where I see myself.
And they say, the Bible says that faith is the evidence of things hoped for and things not seen, which is why I asked that question, because when you speak on it and you have that vision, they say that if you speak it often enough, it becomes a part of you. So much success to you, and I believe that what you said is definitely going to come to pass. Do you have any advice for any authors right now who are contemplating doing the exact same thing that you're embarking on?
Start writing. Get to it. Make sure that you're connected with people who have already written a book so that you can follow in their footsteps. And if you're not very well known, make sure that you connect with the writing community. You may connect also through different venues. Make sure you connect with conferences and writers' conferences and speakers' conferences and things of that nature.
And so, being the fact that we're just kind of wrapping the show up, is there anything that you would like to add that I haven't included in the show so far?
Absolutely. I want to let local parents here in the area know that I will be doing a power conference for parents, Building Brighter Kids Power Conference. It's on Saturday, August 16th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Greenbrier Public Library on Volvo. Come out. It's a free workshop. We'll be giving away school supplies. I'll be connecting parents with some tools and techniques that they can use to start out right away to get their kids ready for that first day of school.
And let our listeners know, how can they discover a little bit more about Veda Green? Again, if I haven't mentioned it enough, the book is called Building Brighter Kids from Kindergarten to College. Here, you can see it online by Veda Green. And how can the listeners get a hold of you? How can they get to listen to you, other than what? Give us the date again. It's
August 16th.
August 16th.
3 to 5 at Greenbrier Library.
And if they want to call you for an engagement to have you come out and speak, how can they get a hold of you?
Two ways. You can register online for our conference at like my Facebook page. There's a link right there for the conference. You may also get in touch with me at www.buildingbrighterkids.com or buildingbrighterkids@gmail.com. You may call me at 757-749-5034.
Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Behind the Scenes. We've had the pleasure of interviewing Ms. Veda Green, the author of Building Brighter Kids. Thank you, and tune in to the next show.
Woo, 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 woo. Na 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 na. Yeah, 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 yeah. What you talking about, boy? What you looking at me for that way? What you talking about, boy? What you looking at me for that way? Got to be your way or no way at all. Nobody tells you what to do, no.